Hello, my name is Dr. Steele, and welcome to Steele Mathematics, where lessons in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Calculus are taught. And today, we're going to expand and condense logarithmic expressions. And to do so, are to use the 5 properties of logarithms. The first property says that the log of a product equals the sum of the logs of the two numbers. The second one says the log of a quotient is the difference of the two logs. The third property said that the log of a power of something, that exponent becomes a coefficient. Property 4 is actually the change of base property as described in the introduction to logarithms video. But in that video, it just said log of A over log of N, whereas you can use any base. And finally, log of 1 is 0. So what I'm about to do now is I'm going to show you how to use the properties of logarithms to expand and condense log expressions. So let's say you are to expand the expressions. And what that means is we're going to write these logs as either a sum or a difference of logs without exponents. So number 1, we have a log of a product. So we're going to expand it by writing this as a sum. Now, as you can see, we have an exponent left. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite log of u plus log of v. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use the third property to change that 2 into a coefficient by putting it in front of log of w. And therefore, your solution is log of u plus log of v plus 2 log of w. All right, next, to change that 5 into a coefficient, we're going to apply the third property. Bring the 5 up front. Then we have a quotient. We're going to write this as a difference of logs. That's log base 5 of x minus log base 5 of y to the third. And finally, no, wait a minute, not yet, because we got an exponent. So we're going to have to use the third property to turn that 3 into a coefficient. Finally, we're going to use the distributive property to write this as 5 log base of x minus 15 log base 5 of y. All right, number 3, we have another log of a product. So we're going to write this as a sum of logs. So we got log base 7 of A plus log base 7 of B plus log base 7 of C to the 6th. We still have an exponent. we got to use the third property. First, we're going to bring down log base 7 of A plus log base 7 of B. And we're going to use that property to bring the 6 to the front of log base 7 of C. Therefore, your solution is log base 7 of A plus log base 7 of B plus 6 log base 7 of C. First, we're going to use a third property to change that 5 into a coefficient. We have a log of a product, so we're going to rewrite that log as a sum of logs. So this is log base 2 of B to the third plus log base 2 of V. We have an exponent, so we're going to apply the third property to change that 3 into a coefficient. Therefore, we put the 3 in front of log base 2 of U plus log base 2 of V. And finally, we're going to apply the distributive property. So this becomes 15 log base 2 of U plus 5 log base 2 of V. So therefore, this is your solution. So again, when expanding log expressions, we first write it as a sum or difference, and we use the third property to get rid of exponents. In other words, to change exponents into coefficients. So now, suppose we're asked to condense, and what that means is to write it as one log expression, or one log. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use the third property to change coefficients into exponents. Therefore, this becomes log base 3 of A to the 12th minus log base 3 of B to the second. And now that we have a difference, we're going to write this as a log of a quotient. Therefore, this is log base 3 of A to the 12th over B squared. It is written as one log. You're finished condensing. All right, number 6, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to use the third property to change all coefficients into exponents. Therefore, this becomes log base 2 of y to the 5th, and this becomes log base 2 of z squared. This is a sum of logs, so we're going to write this as one log by applying property 1. Therefore, this will be log base 2 of x y to the 5th z squared. And this is your solution. All right, number 7, we'll use property 3 to change coefficients into exponents. Therefore, this becomes log base 6 of x to the 6th. This becomes log base 6 of y to the 12th. Here we have a difference. Therefore, we're going to rewrite this as a log of quotients. So therefore, this is log base 6 of x to the 6th over y to the 12th. And this is your solution. On number 8, again, we must first use property 3 to change all exponents, all coefficients into exponents. Therefore, this becomes log c to the 4th. And finally, we're going to use the first property to write this as 1 log. Therefore, this is log of a, b, c to the 4th. And this is your solution. We use the 5 properties of logarithms to expand and condense log expressions. To expand means to write it as a sum or difference of logs without any exponents. And to condense means to write it all as 1 log. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day.